you doing? Welcome back to Worldwide. Worldwide is a place where we talk about childhood trauma with a focus being parental alienation. Childhood trauma that can be prevented, and the main focus is addressing parental alienators. Who are they? How their behaviors affect children as children and at the long run throughout the lifespan. So if you are new, welcome. Thank you to everybody that has already subscribed to the channel. If you have not done that, maybe you should consider doing that right now, guys. Click on the red button. It is free to do so. Like, share my videos, comment. Put in a comment. Let me know what you think about the video. Okay. My name, as always, is Mamle Yoko Godwins. I am a survivor of domestic violence, spousal abuse. I am the target in the parental alienation situation. And currently, I practice as a psychiatric nurse, and also I practice sometimes as a telemetry message nurse. And soon, we are counting days or weeks. We are counting weeks. May 10th is my last day to finish my psychiatric nurse practitioner program. Okay, so today's topic is going to be on narcissistic parental alienators. So we talk about narcissistic personality disorder. A narcissistic parental alienator is also a person that have narcissist personality disorder. It is a cluster B personality disorder. This kind of people, they crave for admiration, and everybody else is here. They crave for people to see them for what they are not. Grandiosity. They feel big. They can even imagine. It's all in their head, you know. So we are going to look at the criteria of how they get diagnosed. Okay. We are going to look at DSM-5. DSM-5 is a short form for Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition. This is a manual that psychiatrists and mental health professionals and psychiatric nurse practitioners use to assess a person that came to see them for care. They assess their symptoms and decide which of the mental health disorders you have. So according to the DSM-5, we have 9 criteria. And out of these 9 criteria, a person that have narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder must have 5 out of the 9. One characteristic is a grandiose sense of self-importance. Self-importance. A preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, and ideal love. So in my case, the narcissistic parental alienator, at some point, I took my case to a private institution where they will have a private international school. I paid a lot of money every month, so they will have quality education. Narcissist parents in the parental alienator I was dealing with called the school and said, "Hey, I'm Dr. Opari. I'm Dr. Opari. I'm the father of such and such. I'm this, I'm that." And try to push me down, destroy me. Of course, as always, I have mental health disorder. I am this, I'm that, everything I'm not. narcissist looks out for themselves, not for this. One of the criteria is they lack empathy. Narcissist parental alienator, they lack empathy. They don't care about nobody's feelings. They just care about themselves. They want to be seen. They are selfish. In their mind, they are Jesus Christ who can save the whole world. Like a person that can finish acrosec and didn't come home with a certificate. I'm not saying to disrespect anybody because the fingers are not equal. But the behavior is what I'm trying to address with examples. Such a person with a high school outcome that is not so great can call people and say, I am doctor, to gain favor, gain attention. And if you think I'm lying, go to Seaside International and investigate this issue if I'm lying. He called there and said he is Dr. Opari, a place I was paying $2,000 or more a month or every term, every 60 days for 2 kids. So we got the first characteristics, grandiose sense of self-importance. Second characteristics, preoccupation with false fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, ideal love, like they are the best. Third characteristic is a belief that he or she is special. You get that? He or she is special and unique and can only be understood by a system. Should be considered in situation like should associate with a category of people or special other special or high status people or institutions. People that have narcissism, these are one of their characteristics. As you can see, my parental alienator in my case have these characteristics, as you all can see. Okay, the fourth one is a need for excessive admiration, seeking attention. Always have to prove that I'm this, I'm that. Guys, I live, I have windows and I love ventilated environment, so I see people passing around, and that's why you see me moving my eyes all the time. Sorry, guys. So, entitlement, we talk about that. Interpersonally exploitive behavior. They are very exploitive. That is very true. That is very, very true, guys. They explore people. They exploit you to see what they can get out of you. They exploit systems. They exploit, like you can go to a parent-teacher conference and make it all about you. Okay? You can go to a parent-teacher conference and make it all about you, and I'm going to explain. And that is why I want to do this topic today, because I was in a parent-teacher conference last Thursday. That's not the first time this happens anyway, but since now I'm talking about parental alienation, I think we have to talk about it. Envy of others, or a belief that others are envious of them. A demonstration of arrogance. Demonstration of arrogance and haughty behaviors or attitudes. As you can see, in my case at least, the parental alienator I'm dealing with has almost all 9, and he needs only 5 to be diagnosed with narcissism. He needs only 5 to be diagnosed with narcissism. When we go to parent-teacher conference, it's about the child. The alienator lied. Of course, I said this many times, that I have mental illness. My whole entire family have mental illness. And so his child have mental illness and use the system to misdiagnose his child as autistic. So that when each time we went to court, he used that the child is autistic, the school said the child is autistic, and he is the one that is fighting for the best interest of the child. So the system will help the child, and guess what? 2013, 2014, 2015, I have been fighting to no avail, just to prove that my child is not autistic. They moved my child from a regular teaching environment and mixed him up with autistic kids. For 5 solid years, he was disserviced. You see what parental alienation does to your children? If you are dealing with a narcissist and obsessed parental alienator, these are some of the things you deal with. The children are the sufferers. 2016, when they finally decided to give me a benefit of the doubt and get me to come in for a meeting, they finally decided to give me a hearing ear. After that meeting, I got home and the caseworker emailed me and said, I think that was a very productive meeting. This is how the acceptance to start assessing my child in a different angle started. So guess what? My child got evaluated 2017 after the meeting in the fall of 2016. And they took the autism tag off him. The narcissist parental wasn't happy because obviously this is going to ruin everything he has plotted for almost how many years. But the good news is that gives me another opportunity to push further with my advocacy. Okay. Now that you guys have succeeded in using my child as a model student for autistic kids, and you yourself have come out and said he is not autistic, as a legal custodian who should be happy and fight the system now to provide the best education for his child, he said no. Where the child was fine, he should remain there. I keep emailing. I keep bombarding them with emails. I keep sending emails. I keep fighting. I said, if that is the case, don't you think it's appropriate? It's time for you to move the child from that environment back to the regular school system? You get it? Okay. Yeah, 2019, decision was finally made. Now they have to find a better school and placement for him. Don't forget, they have disserviced the child. They have given him an education that is substandard, that I fought against for years. Now they moved him back to a regular school system with support. Now we go to we still continue going to parent-teacher conferences. We go to parent-teacher conference. The narcissist parent will refuse everything that I request that they should do. Since this test came out this way, then why don't you do this? Since this test came, why don't you do that? Now, another instance. He will, of course, the craving for admiration, craving for importance, craving to be given recognition, craving for power, to be seen as the one who is mentally sound. Meanwhile, this is a person that don't even go to meetings when the child was under his care. All of a sudden, he shows up for every single meeting, parent-teacher conference. So guess what? Now my child is doing fine in school, but is having problem with math. In another parent-teacher conference, the narcissist parental alienator made it about himself again. He refused that the child is having problem with math and needs to be assessed. I insisted. Of course, in the meeting, he casts me out. He throws away my questions. He disrespects me in front of the. Did you see the one of the characteristics? The belief that he or she is special and unique and can only be understood. So he's better. Every input he puts in is better, and it should be taken over mine. Mine should never be considered. I'll be disrespected, but I don't give up. Or should associate with people of position, people of higher status in society. That is what I had to deal with when I go to the parent-teacher conferences. But it's about my child, so guess what? I don't give up. So I left that meeting and came home and bombarded emails with why my child should be tested, should have a professional examination done. They decided to do it eventually. Guess what? My child came out as not having any learning disability, not having dyscalculia, he is 0. How can you destroy your own child? Because of nurturing, because of the substandard education he was furnished with, is why he is struggling with the math now that he is back in the regular school system. You see what narcissism and parental alienation of a parent, that is a parental alienator, can cause his own child? Because he has to prove a point, and he has to put himself first above everybody. He has to be appreciated and respected in the meetings than me, the targeted parent. But guess what? It's about my child, yo. I don't give up. Mommy, don't give up. Okay. So, now, what do you do from there? In that place already, when they decide they will do the assessment, they will do an official assessment on him. I also said, so what are we doing about the math? He need help. I got him a private math service that provides him with support. I also have services in Howard County I take him to. In addition, he has been provided a service in the school to go to the mass intervention program 2 to 3 or sometimes 4 times a week. Sooner or later, my son's confidence in the mass that he's avoiding started picking up. The school has acknowledged it. They have seen how great he's doing. They have seen the enthusiasm he brings to the table now when it's time to do math. Now, we are moving on. Another incident of grandiousness and to be seen as better than others. As a result, we are now moving to another parent-teacher conference. After now, I provide him with private maths tutorial. He gets mass intervention in a school, and I take him to the library for some assistance also. After all these resources came together, my child's confidence level in math has picked up. Okay. You see how parental alienation and poor nurturing can affect your children? That is why I'm making myself vulnerable. And I'll bring you along on my son's progress sometime as we go through this journey on eppaworldwide. He refused to get the mass evaluation, the professional evaluation done. It was done. The services were provided. Now we are coming to another evaluation, a parent-teacher conference. This time it's within this Uncle Korokoro. So coronavirus, we are going to have a video conference. In that video conference, once again, every question I have is irrelevant because I have mental illness. Everything I ask, I have to be shut up. I have to be casted to the point where the kids were like, why is the parental alienator doing that? Why is he trashing every question you ask? Why is it, unfortunately, my son is part of this meeting? So he got so angry. Unfortunately, I don't want him to have to deal with such things, but he got very angry. because he got exposed to the alienator's behavior, that he was the one that has been used the most, and he has been the one that suffered again the most. He has been used to attack me the most, and he has been the sufferer also the most. And now, as he's aging, becoming he's now a teenager, and seeing the pros and the cons, and seeing all the things that has been going on, and understands things better, not because I explained to him, but because he's just it's a nature is taking its course. The person that pretends to love him and uses him the most, and always throws words at him. Your fellows are building computers and you are drawing. Your fellows are building computers and you are writing these books. Your fellows are building computers and you are here doing this, doing that. Put the stupid book away. We trash his drawing, his artwork, his books that he writes, comic books. He trash them. Now, the narcissistic parental alienator can't stand the same child that he used to attack me. Now he lost control because he's unable to initiate. So guess what? He is rolling like a lion and can't stand the child. The child is also understanding his behavior now, and is getting angry when he hears him that he's being hateful at the targeted parent, me, his mother. He gets angry. Unfortunately, we were in the parent-teacher conference where he's a teenager. I like him to be there, and the school wants him to be there because he's going to high school, and we have to choose some either computer science or health science or whatever courses for him. So he has to be there so he can also choose his courses of his interest. So he heard all these things, and he was like, why is he trashing you? Why is he interrupting your question? Why is he? So he got more furious and angry. See what parental alienation does? I'm not trying to go too long, but it looked like I am. Okay, I want to add this article brief. Now, the most important thing in this process is that I have succeeded in getting the autism tag of my child. I have succeeded in providing him a better support with the math, which was increasing his self-esteem. So I want you to know that the right environment, the right nurturing will help your child. Cast out selfish desires, your personal interests, your selfish needs, throw them in the garbage. Open the garbage, wrap them up, put it in the bottom of the garbage can. Now that same child have emotional disability because they still have to find a tag that will allow the system to provide him with services. So they claim now he doesn't have autism. He doesn't have, and they did education assessment on him. He does not have a learning disability. Advocacy, good advocacy. Now they have to find a tag that allows him to continue receiving the math support and other support and emotional support. So guess what? They say he has emotional disability. What is emotion? Emotion is how you get upset, how you get angry, how you take things. If I step on your toe now, how do you react to it? With a child that has suffered parental alienation and has been brainwashed, psychologically manipulated, and have been psychologically groomed to hate a targeted parent, to be aggressive towards a targeted parent, to be just such a child eventually will take these emotions. And this is why you get married to somebody and this and that happens to you. They do treat you this way and you don't know why. He goes to school and probably exhibits those behaviors too. I don't tolerate it, so guess what? It has stopped in my home. The aggression that is directed at me, no, it doesn't occur in my home ever again. Whereby me and my child have good relationship. He's always around me. He wants to be around me. He loves attention. But do you see how this has affected him? Now, the thing that I have discovered this past Thursday is he has a ESOL tag on his assessment, his record. What is ESOL? ESOL is like an English as a second language class that they offer to students that have coming, like you had a child in Ghana and then you bring them, or you had them here but you send them to Ghana for a while and you bring them back. They give them that so they can go and get learning support for English language competency. English language competency. My child has always spoke English. He does not get services for ESOL. You put this tag on him, meaning the government pays the school system. For every tag they give your child, it's a lot of money for those putting those tags on them. It's paying, the government is paying. I said, since I have never heard this child going to an ESOL class, I've never heard him having an ESOL. So why is this tag on his record? Can you take it off? They said they can. Okay, if they can, then whatever service he deserves to get under that, then provide it for him. Because he's not. My child never. He doesn't get any support from ESOL. He's always spoke English. He's always written his books in English. He's always done everything in English. The Narcissist Parental Alienation once again said, why should they do that? They don't have to do that. I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they should force and give him ESOL support, because he doesn't. He doesn't have a deficit there. But if you put it on his record and you're not taking it, then provide him with a service and stop the government money from coming to you and you take it and don't use it for the child. You use it, so basically you let the system use your child to gain financial assistance. And you yourself has used your child to use your child to get financial stability, to live a comfortable life at the expense of your child. And these are some of the things parental alienators do. I talk about the fact that the system is not for you. And since this is getting to 30 minutes, I'm going to stop here. But I have an article here that was written once again by Dr. Crook. He's one of the child psychologists. I've discussed some of his articles. I'm going to talk about this article next week. So I don't want us to go beyond 30 minutes. So I'm going to end here. And I hope to see you next week back on this channel. So I appreciate you being here. As always, thanks for joining. If you are new, I want you to subscribe, like, share, and let's continue with this learning on parental alienation. Okay? Like, share, and subscribe. See you next week in our next episode.